If you're a content creator, coach, or solopreneur, you've probably seen Go High Level pitched as some magical make money online opportunity. This is not that video. We're going to dive into Go High Level, compare it to some of the other viable options on the market, and I'll show you how I use it to build automated funnels, sell digital products and courses and memberships, the things that are really cool, maybe more importantly, the things that are absolutely drive me nuts. And of course, we'll address all of those MLM vibes, because you definitely do not need to pay $500 a month to run your business with Go High Level. The $97 a month price plan is all you need, but there's a little asterisk because there's some fine print. It's not actually only $97 a month. There are some other fees that a lot of people don't know about. So we'll dive into all of that. Hey, I'm Jason, faith-based entrepreneur. Timestamps and resources below, including a link to a 30-day free trial of Go High Level, along with a private community, some workflow calls, as well as all of our funnels and automations so you can put them directly into your account and really see if Go High Level is a good fit for you and your business in 30 days for free. Now, as an agency owner turned solopreneur content creator, there are 7 key features that I think we need, whether you're looking at High Level, ClickFunnels, Kajabi, Systemi, or Kartra. Those are pretty much the best of the best in terms of our options. So number 1, we want to make sure that the solution we're looking at gives us funnels. So that's a landing page to collect email addresses, a sales page to sell our stuff, and then have the ability to have an order bump and upsells to maximize our transaction value. I'll show you an example of those in a moment. And then, of course, we need to be able to deliver our products and services. So we want to make sure that it has a course or membership functionality. We want a community functionality because that's becoming a big thing for some reason. Thanks, Circle and School. And then, of course, we need email automations, right? So we need to be able to send our newsletters. We need to be able to add some tags and do some basic conditional logic. And then, of course, we also want to have some sort of e-com ability that talks to Shopify so we can showcase our offers on Insta and Facebook and YouTube natively. And then, of course, we need a website builder. And as a bonus, if it can manage booking calls for us and calendars, that would be awesome too, whether or not you're doing coaching or consulting. Even if you just want an automated system for, hey, book a call with me for $100 an hour, having that feature is nice. And so when it comes to the types of platforms we have available to us as solopreneurs and content creators, it really is ClickFunnels, Kajabi, Go High Level, Systemi, and Kartra. Those are the only 5 that do everything you need to actually run your business. And no, you're not going to be unsuccessful if you choose the wrong one, right? There seems to be a lot of promoters out there that will say, if you choose the wrong one, your business is going to fail. It's not going to work. No, at the end of the day, it's tools, right? Like if you buy the top of the line hammer from Home Depot, that doesn't make you a 6-figure contractor. It just means you have a really nice hammer, right? So just view all of these as toolkits. There's different nuts and bolts. Some are more important than others, in my opinion. Some of these have AI features like High Level, where others have been lagging behind on AI. But it's not like you are going to completely fail as a business owner or content creator if you choose the wrong one. So I'm adding all this up front because most of the other reviews on all of these softwares is just over the top hype. So here's a quick rundown of how I use Go High Level to run my own business, selling my own courses and digital products. So what you're looking at here is number 1, you have to create content, right? So Go High Level actually has a social planner. So we use this to schedule across a lot of my accounts. And as you can see here, with the exception of X, it pretty much allows you to schedule to all major platforms. But that's probably not what you're here for. You're here for the funnels and the courses. So when it comes to setting up your funnels, you can, of course, create basic landing pages and even more advanced ones, collect contact information via a name and email or more info if you want. Then you can, of course, set up lots of different types of automations. You can see mine is very basic. And with these automations, you can, of course, customize the emails that go out as well. Then, of course, we have the one-time offer sales letter. And so I like putting countdown timers on my sales letter. High Level allows you to make a countdown timer for each individual person who joins, or it could be like this week only, it's 50% off. You have a lot of different options with these timers. And as you can see here, this page is built 100% in Go High Level. I'm not using any sort of custom coding or CSS. And so if you can imagine it, you can probably build it in Go High Level. There are a lot of awesome individual page building features, and I'll leave a link in the cards and the description to a full-blown 90-minute guide that goes through building all of these things from scratch. Here, I just want to give you a quick rundown on how I use it. And so with these sales letters, if someone goes ahead and clicks Access Now, they will go to this enrollment form here. And then we also give them the option to grab something called an order bump. So if someone clicks this little box here, this additional offer is added to their order. It's a great way to increase your average transaction value and turn what would have been a $5 sale into a $20 or $30 sale. Now, as a critique, this yellow box I think is ugly. Go High Level still does not have the ability to change this for some reason. I feel like I'm stuck in 2018, but hey, this is the good and the bad and the ugly. So this does really bug me. There are features where you can change this. It's just not worth the headache. Then, of course, they do have the ability to create upsells. And so what this means is when someone goes to your sales page and checks out, you can immediately give them another offer. And so if I scroll down here, if someone clicks this button, this offer is automatically added to their transaction. Another great way to increase your profits. And of course, if you're not new to funnels, you're probably rolling your eyes at me like, why am I explaining all this? But of course, Go High Level allows you to create a lot of different upsells. As far as I understand, there's no limit on the upsells, but they don't have a downsell feature. And of course, once someone purchases, you can give them an order confirmation page, let them know what email the course content will come from. And then of course, they can actually see their course, right? So this is a preview of one of our paid courses. And then if you're curious of what the actual course dashboard looks like, this is what it looks like if someone has purchased multiple offers from you. And that does it for the quickest rundown of how I use Go High Level. And so as you can see, you can run your entire course creation and digital product business using Go High Level. They also have some awesome community features, which I think are on par with School and Circle. So if that's something you really care about, you're going to have those as well. But that's kind of all the positives, right? So before we get into the 5 things that absolutely drive me nuts and the one that almost kept me from using Go High Level altogether, it's ridiculous that they don't have it. How does Go High Level stack up to some of the other alternatives that you might be looking at? So we'll specifically take a look at the ones that I think are the most relevant. And again, I'm comparing the $97 a month price plan. We'll get to the fine print on that in a moment because it is confusing and a little deceiving. Not that they're doing it on purpose. It's just you got to read the fine print. And then we'll dive into all of the negative aspects and stuff that drives me nuts. So if we compare Go High Level to Kartra or to Kajabi, which is the OG, the very first one that came out. Yes, it came out even before ClickFunnels. The issue that I wound up facing with Kajabi, aside from the fact that you can't have custom branding until you're paying $160 a month, is the limitation on products. The demo I just showed you in terms of my basic bare bones funnel, you're going to have 3 products. So really, when you're comparing features and capabilities, you're actually comparing the $97 a month Go High Level plan to the $320 a month Kajabi plan, because even at $320 a month, they still limit you to 100 products. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, I can't even think of 5 products right now, but how many years or decades do you plan on having this business produce results and income for you? You're definitely going to have more than 15 products for sure. I could tell you that much. And the issue I have with Kajabi is the same one I have with ClickFunnels. You can only have 10 courses on their $248 a month plan, or only 6 courses on their $164 plan. So we could look at all the different intricacies of this page builder is better than that one. This automator does this, that automator doesn't do that. But the bare bones basics of, do I have room for list growth? Can I send as many emails as I need to? And can I keep making products so I can increase my income? These other solutions have some pretty arbitrary, if not artificial ceilings, because they definitely want you to just keep upgrading, right? I don't know why I need to pay $6,000 a year and still only be limited to 20 courses. I'm at 23 right now. So apparently ClickFunnels would want 6K from me. But as a disclaimer, the last time I used ClickFunnels was 2019, so I can't comment on all of the improvements as a platform since then because I just don't use them anymore, but I do have a gripe with the limitation on the number of courses. Now with Kartra, you're going to hit some limitations on the contact side of things. I do like that they have unlimited products, pages, and membership sites because they are a digital product first platform, but you're going to find in 6 to 9 months, you're going to be paying at least $230 because you're going to blast past this 2,500 subscriber limit. And the one that is the best alternative to Go High Level in terms of price value, feature for feature, is going to be Systemi. It's, I'd say, half my business is on Systemi and half my business is over on High Level. We're kind of still migrating between the two because even on the $47 a month price plan, actually we're comparing annually. So for just 400 bucks a year, like 2 months of ClickFunnels or Kajabi, you get all of the space you need. You get 10,000 contacts. And if I scroll down here, you get 50 funnels. And most importantly, you get 20 courses. And of course, once you upgrade to unlimited, they don't have any limits on the courses. Now, the pricing comparisons are all well and good, but there is a little asterisk here because when you look at the pricing plans of Go High Level, there is a difference between contacts and email sending. And this is where it gets super, super confusing because $97 a month is not actually what you're going to pay. So to just shortcut all of the math and the confusion, I've made this overly simplistic table to show you the actual breakdown of how much the costs are going to be with High Level. Because what High Level did is instead of trying to charge you a flat fee and then say you can send this many emails to this many contacts, High Level's turned around and said, hey, you can have as many contacts as you want. We're just going to charge you when you send an email. Think of it as you get to rent this really nice car and then you just pay for the gas. That's kind of the best analogy I could come up with. Probably should have asked GPT for a better one. But if you look at this chart, let's say you have 5,000 subscribers and you send about 3 emails a week. That's going to cost you an additional $40 a month. So your 97 becomes 97 plus 40. So now you're paying around 130. That's not how math works. Now you're paying around 140. Now, of course, if you send less emails, it's going to cost less. But I did this chart based upon some just typical milestones that you'll hit in your business and how many emails a week you're probably sending. Now, obviously, if you send less emails, you spend less money. If you spend more emails, you spend more money. I can think of some times where MailerLite's collected, a good $1,500 for me, and I sent like 4 emails over the 3-month period, right? So the advantage is you don't pay unless you actually use the email sending. But the disadvantage is all of a sudden your costs become variable. Like you don't know exactly how much your bill is going to be this week. And so if you're looking at different reviews and you see people like High Level sent me this bill, they wanted another $500. Well, that's because they were using text messaging, they were using AI credits, or they were sending emails. And by the way, High Level is very transparent in the dashboard how much you're spending, and you can actually create a wallet so you don't actually overspend, which is pretty cool. So looking at this diagram, I thought it would be good to compare Systemi to Go High Level since Systemi is the best value comparison. And you can see here that when it comes to 20,000 subscribers or less, stick with me here. I know this is a lot. 20,000 subscribers or less, you're going to find that all other things ignored, Systemi actually does wind up being cheaper on their unlimited plan. However, once you pass 20K subscribers, you're definitely going to want to get something called a dedicated IP address. Systemi does integrate with SendGrid Pro, which is really cool. But essentially you wind up coming out to about the same cost. So up to 20,000 subscribers, Systemi is going to be less. Let's be real. That just straight up, it's going to be less money. Once you hit 20,000 subscribers, the cost almost becomes the same. And again, I'm ignoring the differences between, what Go High Level offers versus Systemi. I'm looking strictly at price because every email I've sent thus far, everybody just looks at price and they ignore how much more Go High Level can do versus Systemi and vice versa. So in terms of bare bones, I just want the cheapest option that does everything out of the box right now. Systemi probably is going to be your winner. However, I do think High Level is still a better option to go because we're only talking about a $40 to $80 difference. And I think you get a lot of value, especially when it comes to the AI and auto DM capabilities that we'll be going through in a moment. And again, I'm just focused on you as an actual business, not purchasing High Level because you want to resell it to local business owners. We'll get to that fiasco. So if you're still with me, I realize that this is much longer than the typical 6-minute and 50-second Go High Level review. So please hit that like button. Let the algorithm know you appreciate the deeper dive into helping you understand if this is a good platform for you. And of course, comment below with any of your questions. I'm more than happy to answer them honestly. Now, speaking of honesty, there's some problems, right? So before we get to the MLM vibes and the stuff I really like, there are some problems. So I went over to YouTube and GPT and Gemini, and I had it scrape and find all of the complaints I could about High Level and made this list. So this is my unfiltered, unbiased, this is what people complain about list, right? So this is taken straight from GPT, looking at hundreds of comments and combing through lots and lots of blog posts. Now, there are a couple on here that I think are off base. Just before we jump into the 5 that I think are a problem, I don't know why, but there is actually split testing inside of Go High Level. As you can see here, I can split test my landing pages. So I'm not sure why I see so many complaints of this, but I just want to let you know, split testing's right here. You can split test. It's a $97 a month price plan. But anyway, when it comes to the issues that I personally have with it, and I did go to Better Business Bureau, I read every single complaint. They are all billing concerns, which is I think a conversation for another day. We've addressed the fact that there are variability when it comes to text messaging and email. The number one problem I personally have with Go High Level, and this is one of the main reason I almost did not use them, is they don't allow for split testing with broadcast emails. So every other solution I've used in the past, from Constant Contact, GetResponse, MailerLite, MailChimp, Aweber, Systemi, they all allow you to do the basic function of when you send an email, you get to split test the headline and you see, or use subject line. You get to see which one gets more opens, which one gets more clicks. I actually worked with a high level support person walking through a process to get around this. But again, this is actually going to tie into number 3. That's just a bunch of extra steps that I don't think you need to do. Now, yes, they have some other features for deliverability that helps, but for me personally, the number one complaint I have with High Level is you cannot natively split test your broadcasts. I do not want to make a workflow every time I send an email. That's just me. It drives me absolutely nuts. Number 2 is they are missing upsells and order bumps for PayPal. So of course, Go High Level has a lot of payment integrations. You pretty much just need Stripe, unless you're in a country that doesn't use Stripe. But for some reason, if you want order bumps and upsells, which if you sell online courses and digital products, it's not a want, it's a need. That's how you make the majority of your money. You need those. And so the fact that it doesn't work with PayPal really bugs me. I think they should fix that. Not that I like PayPal. It's just people don't want to get up, right? PayPal has people's credit card information, and it just makes the buying process a lot easier. Number 3 is something I alluded to multiple times, and that is the extra complexity. Anyone who says, oh, you just got to learn High Level, it's like learning everything else. No, it's not. It is way, way more complicated than any other all-in-one solution that I've used. The only thing that comes close to the complexity is learning WordPress. WordPress is the only software or platform that I could think of that was harder to understand than High Level. Now, where I am personally just over 90 days in. I think we use 30 days in the title. So, it's just YouTube. YouTube wants 30 days. Nobody wants to hear 90 days. But I can tell you that after about 30 days, and they have live support, which is paramount, right? When you're setting all this up, I started to get the hang of it. I understood where things were, but there are a lot of extra steps. And my final gripe is just going to be the cost creep, right? Because it's really hard to run a business when you don't actually know how much things are going to cost. And so especially when you're just getting started with high level, you're probably logging in every other day, looking at your current cost tab, whether you're doing AI or text messaging or emails. That's just something that an extra thing you have to keep an eye on. I think after a couple of months, you're going to go, okay, I know about how much it's going to cost, but those costs can really creep up on people. And the majority of the Better Business Bureau complaints that I read were really high volume agencies that are racking up thousands of dollars in fees because they're managing clients as well, and they just didn't set things up correctly, versus solopreneurs and content creators like ourselves who are like, oh, I got charged an extra $5 because I forgot I turned on text messaging or made this AI chatbot. So that does it for my 4. Go ahead and comment below if you have any questions or concerns about those, because the next one is a little tricky. It's going to take a little bit of finesse for me not to roast some other content creators, but we do need to talk about the elephant in the room with Go High Level, and that's those MLM vibes. So we'll start off by saying a lot of the way Go High Level is promoted, and a lot of the other solutions I talked about are promoted, is very over the top, very hypey, and there's this confusion of these being business opportunities versus just being a tool that you use to run your business. So obviously I'm approaching this as this is just one tool that you can use to run your business. I'm not telling you the tool itself is a business opportunity, but it's marketed that way. To be fair, a lot of the other solutions that I mentioned are also marketed that way, but just because a software company has an affiliate program does not make it a MLM. Now, I think the biggest confusion is because Go High Level was actually originally designed for agency owners. That's actually how I learned about it, because I used to run a marketing agency. And if you look at their pricing plans, it's still priced that way and designed that way. The main difference between this 97 plan that I'm recommending for you to test out and the 297 plan is simply having unlimited sub accounts. So there are a lot of creators that looked at this and said, hey, it would be really cool if I told people who want to start a business, it would be super easy, pay Go High Level $300 a month, and then sell AI websites, sell AI chatbots, sell, Google or Facebook ads management, and sell websites and funnels and reputation and blah, 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 blah. And so while there's nothing wrong with the model of being a marketing agency using High Level as a tool and then selling to local businesses, it's actually a lot of freaking work. I know, because I used to do it. And if you want to go that route, awesome. But that's anything but automated, and it is not easy at all. I seriously think the system I showed you in this video is way simpler and easier to implement. And in fact, when you go to High Level's website, they only show these 2 price plans. They do not show the SaaS price plan, which is the other overhyped, misrepresented function often, where you can pay $500 a month and then you can essentially sell Go High Level, the entire software, as if it's your own. Don't do that if you're new. If you're new to being an entrepreneur, please don't do that. That is a huge headache. You're going to lose thousands upon thousands of dollars learning marketing messaging that you could have learned for just $970 a year, which is the discounted price if you pay for High Level for a year. So I just want to acknowledge that there is a lot of overhype, especially in the make money, sell digital products, or be an agency owner niche. And while the models themselves, because there's always a kernel of truth to the hype, right? While the models themselves work, it is possible, pay Go High Level $3,000, $5,000, $6,000 a year, and then resell all the sub accounts. Cool. Awesome. That is a viable business. It's really hard, and no one you're selling to wants to just have you set it and forget it. Just keep in mind that when you see those other things, while it might be a viable business avenue, it's probably a distraction, and it is a way harder and not automated at all. So I'll just, I think, leave it at that, because at the end of the day, I really want to stress the point. Go High Level is a tool. I feel like Woody, in Toy Story 1 with Buzz Lightyear, you are a toy. You are a tool. You are a tool. That's it. It's just a tool to help us be successful. It is not a business opportunity. There are business opportunities that become easier and open up because of its features and functions and because of the way it was originally designed. But I'm going through the features and functions they've added since they launched that cater more to us as content creators, solopreneurs who want to sell digital products and services, and communities. These features are useless when you're running a marketing agency. So that's why I want to completely separate them and just address the overhype and the oversimplification of how hard it is to sell to a small business owner, let alone keep them happy. And if you're a small business owner, I'm not calling you out specifically. So let's move on to the fun stuff, because I've been quite negative for the past 2 sections. So here's why I ultimately decided to go with Go High Level, and some of the features that I might not be using personally yet, but actually pulled me over to using them. So the first one that excites me the most is your ability to create multi-channel automations and communications. So as an example, these are screenshots of what they call, these are workflows inside of Go High Level. And so if you've ever been scrolling through Facebook or Instagram and someone says, comment and I'll send you this, or DM me and I'll send you that, Go High Level allows you to set up those conversations, and they're working on features. Now, don't purchase High Level because I said this, please. But they are working on features where you can integrate GPT into these conversations. And so you can actually create your own essentially trained sales agent to converse with potential customers. And even if you're selling digital products, this is awesome, because now you can create an AI that knows your digital product, knows the pros and cons, can essentially do some free assessments for your potential clients and say, hey, I think this $40, priced offer is something that you should check out. Right. And I think that is a tremendous opportunity, and it's going to be really, really important moving forward in me staying competitive. And so that was the number one reason that I looked at Go High Level and said, okay, I think we're actually going to switch. Now, the second one here is actually something that sounds really silly, and that's these instant checkout pages. When I create a product, I can set up an offer, and less than 5 minutes later, I have this page ready to sell. I don't have to create a workflow. I don't have to create a funnel. I don't have to set anything else up. It's just 1, 2, and I'm done. So this is something that I think is really important as a course creator and digital product creator. You want to be able to get to market as quickly as possible. And if an offer flops on a page like this, then obviously I shouldn't spend all the time creating a funnel. So a funnel and a sales page improves the conversion rate of a good offer. It doesn't make the offer good. There's a better way to say that. The third reason that I decided to go with Go High Level versus some of the other options on this list is, of course, the conversation AI agents. And so this is where you can essentially create your own chatbot that can talk to people who come to your site. And they are really working hard behind the scenes to create some super awesome stuff. And one of the things that I really like about this, and I won't get too much into the AI side of things, but you actually can manage multiple knowledge bases. That's a complex way of saying you can actually train AI to reply to people based upon what you want AI to say, as opposed to what AI thinks it should say. And so this is a feature that I really think is cool. I think I'm on number 4, the communities feature. That's something that I found lacking in the solutions that I was using. And as much as I think communities are overhyped, it's just the popular thing of the day. And so while I didn't want to pay another extra $100 for Circle or School, I was like, well, Go High Level's about the same price and gives me everything else I need. So it kind of felt like a no-brainer. I also like the fact that you can add courses to communities and you can drip them out, as well as create some other things like level unlock, or actually create some upsells inside of a community. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then number 5 is dashboards. There is a little asterisk here, but for me personally, as someone who used to use Google Analytics a lot, got shafted by Google Analytics 4. Being able to pull in Google Analytics data and have sales data all in one place so I can actually start understanding where my business I am weak and need to improve, I think is a huge plus. However, this actually does bring up one of the negatives that I forgot to talk about. And that is if you click on create custom metrics, you get this little pop-up. Every once in a while in high level, I'm trying to do something and it's like, hey, you should pay us more money. And I'm like, why? I don't get it. So while this is kind of out of place, I just wanted to be upfront and also showcase that even after using this for a good 3.5 months or 3.5 months, I'm losing track. Every once in a while, I'll click on something and go, why do I need to pay for $500 for that? I'll just make another dashboard and call it good. And so that does it for my Go High Level review. Hopefully this came across as honest and holding nothing back. I really wanted to make sure that there's at least one video out there that kind of dove into what it's like as a content creator and as someone who sells courses and communities, not necessarily as a marketing agency. So if I missed anything, you have any questions or lingering doubts, go ahead and comment below. I will do my best to read and reply to every single one. And make sure you check out that link to Go High Level. We include a bunch of funnel templates for you so you can import them directly into your account and you can start playing around with it and see if it's a solution that's actually going to be helpful for you and your business. You get 30 days free to try it. And of course, it comes with their support and our community so you can get all your questions answered before those 30 days are up. So hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dive reviews just like this one and some actual strategy videos to help grow your own business. And until the next, keep building the business you love.